By this point, presumably you've decided that your projects and workflow can benefit from using Biowulf. So let me briefly cover a few things about Biowulf accounts. First of all, there's no sharing of accounts. There's no concept of a lab account or a group account to which multiple people in a group or lab can connect. If a group of users want to share data, or a group who are working on a shared project want to share data, then we can arrange for the data sharing. But each individual user still has to connect to Biowulf using their own NIH login, username, and password. If you don't have an account and you want to get one, then you should see this page, hpc.nih.gov/docs/accounts.html. And that provides some information about the account request process and has a link to the online account request form. Once you fill in that form, your principal investigator will need to approve it, and then the NIH Help Desk will set up billing to the appropriate CAN for the monthly HPC charges. It's a flat charge. There are no additional usage fees for CPU or storage. And the latest charges are on the same page, the accounts information page. Accounts must be renewed each year. Each fall, all Biowulf users will need to fill out the account renewal form, and their PI will need to reapprove the account. And this ensures that we have up-to-date information about users who might have changed institutes or who might have moved to a different lab, and that the PIs have reapproved the account for another year. Whether you log into Helix, Biowulf, or Felix, you log in with the same username and password. That's your NIH login username and password. You'll be connecting to the same /home/user area and the same /data area. You could conceivably have different shells on different systems, but I can't see any reason you'd want to do that. So we recommend the bash shell for all systems. You might get locked due to inactivity on any one of the systems. If you're on the NIH network, you can unlock your account yourself at the NIH HPC dashboard, which is hpc.nih.gov/dashboard. Or you can send email to staff@hpc.nih.gov and we'll contact you about unlocking the account. Email from the Biowulf batch system, the Biowulf system administrators, and announcements all go to your NIH email address as in NED, the NIH directory. It's important that you read these. The announcements might typically have information about the system being down at some point, and we may contact you about problems with your jobs. This email address is the only way that we typically contact users, so it's really important that you read these emails. And once you have an account, you'll be connecting to the Biowulf login node, which is your point of access to the entire Biowulf cluster. The Biowulf login node is a single shared system. It's intended for submitting jobs, which is its main purpose, for editing or compiling code, for file management and file transfer, or for brief testing of code or debugging, anything that takes less than 15 minutes and doesn't use much memory, for example. It's important to note that the login node is a single shared system. There are typically over 100 users logged into it at any time. And so if any user runs a CPU-intensive or memory-intensive program on the login node, that can impact all the users. If you do inadvertently run such a CPU or memory-intensive program on the login node, you're likely to get an email like this that says, "Do not run compute jobs of any kind on the login node." It tells you how to get an interactive session instead, and it tells you that your process was terminated.